Hey YouTube, it's the Code Pilot. Thanks for watching today. It's new hardware day and we're going to be unboxing this Epson EcoTank Extraterrestrial 2800 model here. No lack of marketing on the outside box here. It can print, copy and scan, and Wi-Fi. Find it pretty hilarious that they actually have everything in here is in 3 languages. It's in English, French, and Spanish, except Wi-Fi, which just says Wi-Fi, but it also has rear paper input on it. It does mobile printing and has a 1.44 inch LCD, or in some other language ACL. So it's only 2 languages on there. So I really would have thought it was hilarious had they just listed Wi-Fi 3 times and then LCD and or ACL, whichever is applicable for this particular model, just listed that 3 times as well so that we really know what's going on. But it looks like it's good. Cartridge-free basic home printing, save up to 90%, low-cost replacement ink, save up to 90% with ink bottles versus the ink cartridges. I don't know how much you can print with one of these tank deals here. I don't really know if we're gonna find out, but that's okay. It's got a app. You could do App Store, Google Play, either one. You need to handle it with care. I mean, obviously you don't want to be throwing the printer box around and kind of stress testing it. It's a printer, it's not a Frisbee, right? It is pretty prominent on the front of the box to never place the printer upright after filling the ink. Otherwise, the ink may leak or the printer may not print correctly. We might test that and see what happens if you try to, turn it sideways and print with it, or turn it upside down. Maybe the prints themselves will come out upside down. I don't know. Maybe we'll give it a shot. Maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe if we do that, we can get Epson to send us a free printer. Call me. Sponsor down in the comments. Stress-free printing with 0 cartridge waste, but I guess that the tank is technically a cartridge unless they are recyclable. We'll see. Maybe it's printed on there. High quality photo printing, print borderless photos up to 4x6. Let's see. I'm sure there's plenty more marketing on the side of this thing. Oh man, that is a big paragraph that I have no intention of reading at this point in time. And yeah, it's just basically the same thing. Oh, so it is labeled here that I couldn't see because I was on the other side of the printer, which now that I notice it, it's on both sides of the printer, so good on them. 4,500 pages of black and 7,500 pages of color, but I don't know if the yellow, red, and blue will print 7,500 each. I'm assuming not. If the black tank does 4,500, I'm assuming the colors will do 7,500 combined. I don't have an opening device. Every time. All right, after almost an 8-minute search for some kind of opening device, let's see what we got. So, a CD software for Windows 10, Windows 8, Windows 7, Windows Vista. Some instructions, won't be needing those. And no shortage of styrofoam here. What's in here? Oh, here's the ink, which we'll have to be filling at some point. And they look like they're only 80% full, so good on them. Power cable. Probably gonna need that. And here we go again with the same power cable from the unboxing of the selfie light ring thing. If you haven't watched that yet, you can watch that here.
Hi, it's editing me. You may have realized that there is no here. I have the footage from the unboxing of the selfie camera thing, but it didn't have audio at the beginning. So I got two options. I mean, I could just go get one and then unbox it and then take it back, or I could use the original footage and try and dub it like some kind of Godzilla spoof, and the audio will not at all match up to what I'm saying. But let me know. Either way, I'll do it. It'll be fine. Just let me know in the comments which one you want to see. Okay, bye.
But it's the same power cable, you know, PlayStation, TVs. If you've been in IT for any more than 6 minutes, you probably have about 30 of these sitting in a drawer somewhere. So, but that's good. Just another one. That. And then our printer itself. Oh, that made a noise. Okay. Nothing else in the box. So we have the giant choking hazard bag for a child that is not even labeled with warning labels. That's interesting. I don't even know how their legal team let them get away with that, but that's a problem for them, not me. I'll dispose of it properly. And then, so here's our front of the printer with the teeny tiny LCD screen. We got a power button, a home button, which ostensibly will allow us to use these arrow controls to change what we're actually doing with it. Question mark, which I don't know how I would ask it a question, but we have that. We'll see what it does once we get this thing plugged in and going. Refresh button, a back button, some sort of upside down pyramid, and I need help button, emergency, my printer's broken down button here, so we'll figure out what that does at some point. Obviously not by reading the instructions or anything. That we learn by doing. We don't learn by reading. We just kind of throw it out there and see what happens, and if it breaks, we Google it for like 3 or 4 hours and eventually come up with the fix. So first things first, we need to remove all these blue shipping tapes on here to stop everything from flopping around. Okay, so we can't do that one yet because it's covered by this. So first we pull this one, then we pull this one from this way, then we pull this one from this way, and we open the lid for the flatbed scanning base, and we remove there, we remove here. It looks like the scanning capability of this may only be single page at a time, because there's not necessarily an auto document feeder on here that I can see. Then again, it's probably the instructions will have something about that wherever they are. We're just gonna have to run it and see what we come up with. Just a couple more blue shipping tabs on the front. Oh, very satisfying. But the sticktivity of this is only on the screen portion itself. It is a different texture than the rest of this. This is very very tactile. I could probably do this for a couple hours and continue enjoying, but you know, no purpose in making a 2-hour YouTube video. And this is why they're telling you not to tilt it, because in order to get this tape off right here easily, you do need to tilt it up. And if you fill it before doing this, you're probably not going to be very happy. So the move is to untape this, then slide this guy out, which that extends way further than I thought it was going to. And then we go ahead and remove these other tabs, and I'm assuming since this feeds from the back, the paper for printing, that your paper is going to come out the front, and you have this little tray right here, and it just kind of feeds. It's going to be interesting to see if this is going to print face up or face down, and how it handles collating, like the sorting of multi-page documents. If you're printing two at a time, is it going to know in which order to print those? Because I have seen printers in the past that they print front to back, but as the sheets come out, they're coming right side up. So it prints page one, and then when it prints page two, that goes on top of it, and then you have to kind of sit there and reorder it. Now, to be fair, I also never read the instructions for that printer either. And being in IT, I'm not typically printing things. I maybe print like 1 or 2 documents a year, and at that, there may be 1 or 2 pages. So not a big issue. I could probably Google it, but then again, to just take one piece of paper and go, well, okay, there we go, now it's sorted, throw a staple in it and mail it to wherever it needs to go, or give it to someone, not that big an issue. So we will do a couple test print runs on this to kind of look at the quality, go over that, and see how it handles collating and multi-page documents. So now we need to get to the filling part, which I'm sure is going to be entertaining because, again, still haven't read the directions. So this does flip up here, and get an angle on this so that y'all can see what the happenings is happening here. So you flip that up, you pull this down, and our tanks are actually right here. That is good. And what's really interesting is this unit is already scratched. There's small scratches on here. I'll get a picture of them with my other phone. That didn't happen. Yeah, it's very interesting that there are already scratches on this tank. Now the packaging wasn't in the best condition. It looked like it had a rough night at some point in time in its life with some kind of shmoo or maybe barbecue sauce or something on there, but go ahead and close that back up. It is kind of cool that the faceplate, you can change the angle on it to just kind of set it however you'd like for ease of use, but we'll go ahead and open the tank face. And then to fill these, it looks like you just pop this guy up like that. And pop all of them up like so. It is cool that they all use the same number. I know like HP, for color it uses 1, and then for black it uses another. And then when you start to get into their LaserJet series, the black uses 1, the cyan, the magenta, and the yellow each use different colors. So that is cool that they make it easy for you so that you just have to remember one number. Oh, and then so not only are they sealed, they're also sealed again, probably so that they don't leak everywhere. So more plastic waste for the eco tank, allegedly. And these are recyclable. These are made from, appears to be polypropylene, so you can just toss these right in the trash can, maybe, depending on where you live. Not the trash, but the recycle thing. It's cool that they do give you a tear on here. I might as well go in order. So first we have the black. So they did design this in a way where you really can't screw it up. There are tabs on the printer, and actually they did a really good job here for lay people that don't read the instructions. I don't know who would do that, just set up a product without reading it. But I'll post a close-up of this on there. Each of the ink bottles have different patterns on the top for which one goes into which location, so that they index in there. I'll open the yellow because that one's going to go next. And you can see, I will open the yellow because that one is going, thank you. The two actually have different indexing patterns in the top of them, so that you can only put each perspective one in its perspective hole, and they are symmetrical side to side, so it doesn't matter which way you put it in as long as you slot it in. But for example, we can see that the black has this other little nubbin here kind of on the side and the yellow doesn't, so it's not going to be possible to put one of these into the other one. It's a good design, it's quality of life thing. Really cool actually. So just go ahead and take that, pop that in, and so it is actually filling itself. Gravity is doing the work here. If I can get a close-up of that. Gravity is doing its thing and filling it, so you don't have to squeeze it, you just kind of slide it in there, and then it just kind of continues on its happy way until it's done. So it does seem as though they have done some thinking on the product itself. So it's done, it's not overflowing. The way that this index is in, there's actually a diaphragm in here, and it just drank almost the whole bottle. You can't really see just because it now has black ink on the inside of it, but I would venture to say that once this settles, there's not much left in here. It seems as though each one of these is going to be just enough to fill it, and then maybe like an emergency, oh, I forgot to print my taxes, and have just a little bit more on the back side of it. But so now we'll do the yellow. And these do have a best by date on them. So if you're going to use them for cooking, you want to make sure that you note that date before you color some cookies or brownies or anything with these. These ones look like they're good 8 of 2029. So it's 4 years from now, just about. I don't know when they were manufactured. I can try and hunt around on the packaging and find a manufacturer date. There is a lot number on here, but it doesn't really tell you a lot about when this particular item was manufactured or filled. So, okay, our yellow looks to be full. It has stopped making some noise. Now the magenta. And they seem to have manufactured these in a way that the lid looks to have a ratcheting mechanism on it. So they really don't want you refilling these bottles. But I think someone who's really crafty could probably figure out a way to get that ratcheting mechanism off of there, maybe squeezing it in a correct spot. Obviously, it could be very, very messy by doing that. But, if you could get that ratcheting mechanism off, you could just probably buy some random ink and run it through this thing and see what it does. Your mileage may vary. I will not warrant your printer should you happen to do that. But, again, experiments. If we want to try and print upside down, maybe we'll do an experiment trying to refill one of these and see how the results get and see whether or not I ruin my favorite shirt by doing that. Let me know in the comments if you want to see that. And lastly, the cyan. There is definitely an amount left in these cartridges, so you will have a little bit of emergency printing if you get in a situation where you need to print something out and you've forgotten to order a cartridge. I would say probably once this thing runs out, shoot these in there and then reorder depending on how much you have to print. You know, I don't know if you want to have many of these bottles around. Again, it's going to depend on how much you print. There are larger EcoTanks that take larger bottles if you're doing more of a volume of printing, but it does seem like they leave you just a little bit left in here if you need to print a couple things out and then order more cartridges. But with a shelf life of 4 years, you know, I think the entire time that I've owned the printer that I use, I've probably had it 6 or 7 years by now, and I think that I've had to buy ink once with how much I print. And I know that when I bought ink, don't forget to push these tabs down here. And actually, I wonder if you leave these up, it looks like the lid will actually close those for you. Yeah, so when you close this lid, it will actually close these for you if you forget to close those. So now we're done filling. Now we're going to pick it up and shake it around before we set it down, just to make sure that that ink is really settled in there. Don't do that. We'll set these aside probably somewhere. We'll probably end up losing these. And then when it runs out of ink, we'll forget that we have these other inks left, and then we'll have to run out to the store at like midnight or something to Walmart to go grab some ink for our printer when we forget to file our taxes. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this plugged in, and then we'll move on to the setup side. There is the, that I didn't mention, there is a security lock on the side here, and it closes the filler door. There's actually a little piece of metal in here that it'll index into if you lock it. Ostensibly, it serves two purposes. Number one, firstly, to stop people from stealing your printer, and number two, to stop people from siphoning your ink out of here if they're hard up for ink. So that's good that does have a locking door on it. So we'll get this plugged in to here. There is a USB slot on the back of this printer as well. We're gonna see right out of the box if we can just configure it to use Wi-Fi, but I think that we're probably gonna need the app. We may need to install or download the software for it and connect it via USB, but we'll see what we get on the screen once we plug it in, if there's some sort of way to configure it. But I'm thinking what might have to happen is may have to connect this via USB to a computer, download the drivers, and then perform that installation. It is interesting that they give you the software CD for it, because many computers these days don't even actually have a CD drive in them. So it may be something where you have to download the phone. I don't know. We'll just have to see once we plug it in. Maybe it'll give us some instructions. It's really going to kill me inside just a little bit if I have to read through these to set up the printer, because most things should just be plug and play. You turn it on, it tells you what to do, but hey, we'll see in just a second here. So once you flip this guy forward, bring up this support, kind of locks into the place. There's two blue alignment tabs here to set the size of your paper. You take a fair few sheets. I don't know if it's marked on here, how many. I don't see a marking. I'm gonna do about this much paper. I don't know, this is probably maybe 60 sheets. Just kind of jam this in here. And it doesn't really want to take that much paper, but it looks like it's fine. So we'll turn the printer on. And it's going to prompt us for language. We want English. Finish setup using the Smart Panel app. No. Let me pull this tray out here. It says it's preparing something. We maybe should have hit yes at the setup stage, but we'll see what it does here. Oh. It just did something with the paper. See the start here bundled. Okay, so we do need to use the instructions. Unfortunately, some just work out of the box, so that is Yep. Okay. Oh, that's French. Okay, so there we go. Start here. Unpack. Well, cool. I feel accomplished. Use your mobile device for setup. Continue to step 1. So download the Epson Smart Panel app, but do not launch, and then turn the product on. It also wants us to fill the ink tanks after we set it up, so we're a step ahead. We're doing pretty good here. There's like 14 steps here for filling these things. Ink charging takes 11 minutes. Oh, so that's the exclamation point button starts ink charging. Load paper, which is already done. Install software. Sick. Okay, so we'll get the app installed and configure this, and we'll go from there. Copyright 2021 on this. So I don't know exactly when it was manufactured, but we shall see. Several minutes here, and it's telling us that a new firmware is released and we need to do something, so we'll hit OK. Initialization complete. OK. Align the print head to get the best quality. Okay, let's go ahead and go through that process. Perform a print head nozzle check to check the print quality. Okay, we'll print that. Load letter paper. Okay. And then we press the I need help button to print. Checks out. So I don't know if it's the fastest printer that I've ever seen. But okay, not terrible. Are there any missing segments? I mean, how would I know if there's any missing segments anywhere if I've never seen it before? But I don't think so, so I'm gonna go with no. Maybe the alignment. This alignment seems like it's off, but I also can't tell. I don't know. So we'll see what it says here. Are there any missing segments? No. Align print position to fix misalignment and banding. Okay. Load paper. All right, well, let's print again and see what it prints this time. Because a lot of times what it'll have you do is it'll have you print print like a sheet of paper with like a pattern on it of some sort, and then it'll have you scan it, and when it scans it, it'll read like it'll use that scan to determine how it's misaligned, but it hasn't had me scan anything yet. But it seems like the paper that it's printing now is going to have more information on it, so maybe it'll have me scan that and then kind of go from there. This is also part of the scam right here. They have you print all these test pages and all that, and it burns your ink in the first 10 minutes of owning the printer, so you got to go buy more ink, but that's okay. So this is the sample page that I was talking about that it prints out. Now it's going to have, this is going to be loaded to scan, and now it's going to use this for its alignment technique here. So yeah, load the printout and choose boxes. Oh, look at the printout and choose boxes with the least lines. On the next screen, select the number. I mean, they all have some lines, I guess. I don't know. This is really hard to tell. So I can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see. Choose boxes with the least lines. Okay. We'll now select numbers. So number 1, 3. That looks pretty good. Okay. 1, 4. No. I guess 2, 4 looks pretty good. Oh, it already knew. 2 is number 4. 3 is number 4. 4 is 4. 5 is 4. 6 is 4. And 7 looks like 3. Now it's telling me to load more paper so it can burn more ink. And press the I need help button. And so now we'll see what the print quality looks like here. Choose rectangles that are not separated or overlapped. I mean, 4 looks to be like the move here. And it knows that it's 4. So yeah, it knows what it's doing. It's just burning ink at this point in time. Print head alignment complete. Okay, so now we have copy, scan, Wi-Fi setup, maintenance, settings, quiet mode. So yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's a printer. It'll print, it'll scan. I could probably hook it up to a USB and do something. It's by no means going to be a real workhorse where I'm printing thousands and thousands and thousands of pages, but it'll work. I'll try and do a post wrap up once I've printed some pages off, kind of see what happens. But thank you so much for watching. I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. If you have any questions on this, anything I could have done better, anything you want to see reviewed, please leave it in the comments below. Read all the comments, answer all the questions that I can, and that's all I got. Okay, bye.